Here I am expecting to do a podcast, and I have 5 viewers already. That's nice. Welcome, everyone. I have not done this in a while, so bear with me. I'm mostly surprised to see that Lucky Noob and Grast and other people from EU time zones are here. Do you not people have work to do? Anyways, without further ado, as I said, I'm on a timer here, but I decided to cast some games because why not? It's past the season and some more CPL content is nice. Yeah, I picked week 2 because I saw that was not casted, and it is from a long time ago, so I believe nobody will mind. And first game that we have is a PvZ. From what I saw in the chat, everybody is either Protoss or a Zerg. From the viewers, so that's good. It's gonna be a game between Dex and earob, I believe. Let's see, what were the hotkeys? Is Dex and earob, they did play top versus bottom, so that's all good for now. Dex, very good, strong Zerg player from the United States. He did come. He came, I think, last year for CPL 9. He just missed the signups, and he was picking up Brood War at that time. He was, when he started, he was, well, beginner level, as you might expect. But right now he's in tier 0, and he's one of the top players in tier 0, so one of the people that had the most improvement in CPL for a single season. And his opponent, earob, he has been in CPL for a very long time, very strong Protoss from Germany, I believe. And looks like he is gonna go for that gateway expand. Let's see. Gateway goes down, gateway on 9. Is he gonna scout for the Overlord? Seems like no, and he will still seems to be going in the right direction, so he will scout first. Although he could have intercepted the Overlord just to confirm. Let's see what else is going on. Are we gonna see a second pylon? Yes, we are, so no super greedy Nexus. Basically, one pylon is not a build. And the Zerg going for an overpull. The hatchery will go around 2:0, yeah, around 2 minutes. 2:02, 2:05 is the latest that you can expect the hatchery to go down after an overpull. Relatively quick gas, earob sees that, and let's see what is the response going to be for that quick gas from Dex. 6 links on the way. With that gas, even more links, 8 links, so earob should really go back with his Zealot. He is now confirming, sees 4 links hatching, sees the 6, yeah, sees the 6 links, and right now he can also see 8 links, so he should throw down the forge immediately. You cannot ban the broadcaster, sorry Escalade. You cannot ban the broadcaster, especially when you're not doing your job. I had to mod Lucky Noob because you weren't here. How dare you. So earob saw the aggression, and he's making Zealots, but yeah, that forge was quite late, and Dex will get into the main base. He doesn't have the forge up yet, so he can't do a cannon, and Dex is just making more and more links. It seems that this is going to be a flood. Dex has the potential to end the game here very quickly. And I'm somewhat surprised that earob is in this position now, because he did see all these links hatching, and he was very greedy with his forge timing. So now he's gonna have to rely on miraculous pro pools. Yeah, that's a 2-0 gap right here. It's one of these things on this map that are a bit tricky. Still no cannon going up, and there's so many links. Dex is not making anything but links. No drones mining at the natural base. All the zealots are overwhelmed. There is no cannon. There is no cannon going up into the main base as well. And it seems like Dex will be going for that gateway. No cannon should be allowed to go up at this point. And I feel like this is way too many links already. So Dex has managed to breach earob. I think we're in the final moments of this game, but let's see if earob agrees with me or if he wants to continue fighting. Down to 9 probes already. And yeah, these things can happen. Zergs can be very aggressive, and the link aggression is extremely potent, especially against Gateway Expand. So Dex really showing us, giving us an example of why Gateway Expand is a bit tricky to pull off, especially on three-player maps. Escalade saying in the chat, Zerg too easy. I mean, you did play Zerg for one season. Is your Zerg win rate better than your Protoss win rate? Pezo need us in the chat? I'm not sure. Is the noise currently, the background noise, too high? Let me see if I can fix that. I can do this. Let me know if it's any better. Yeah, static. I suppose so. That should be my fan that's doing the thing. Let's see if I can get some noise suppression going on. Is it better now? Yeah, I suppose the fan is picking up, is going off when I'm speaking. Otherwise, it's just not going through. I did add a bit of a stronger noise gate right now, so hopefully it should be better. Okay, you think it's better. I'll take that for now, and we can try and do something about it next game. I mean, I will at some point just get a proper headset and not torture you with my fan, but that's a thing for another time. Anyway, game 2 is up. So Dex just needs to take this one map to get a score for his team already. And earob, yeah, it's a software thing. These things are hard, man, computers. And earob is on his way to redemption. What is this map? Oh, it's New Dark Origin. Goes to show how active I was in this season. So New Dark Origin, 2-player map. These bridges are quite an essential feature of the map. They can be very oppressive, both in PvT and ZVP. PvZ, there's some mutant micro going on around these bridges. The third base is relatively easy to take unless you get contained, and there's also this backdoor entrance to your base. So that's my very quick analysis of the game. Dex going for an overpull again, and earob going for a gateway expand again. Funnily enough, gateway expand on 2-player maps is slightly easier to pull off than on 3-player maps. Because two things. First, you are always guaranteed the first scout, which couldn't be too much of a factor because earob did scout first last game as well. But also, just the distance between the bases on a 2-player map is actually bigger than the distance between bases on 3-player maps. So you have more time to make your zealots and prepare. Yeah, Lurker's good unit. We are very likely to see some Lurker play, heavy Lurker play on this map as well. I know a thing that decks like to do on this map is go for a standard build into, was it 5 or 6 Muta? I think it's 5 Mutas. Then harass you a bit with Mutas, and while you try to prepare for the Mutas, continue with Hydros, and which become Lurkers at some point, and it's just a nightmare to deal with. earob moving forward his out to signal to Dex that he will try to pressure, but he's actually not moving out with the Zealot, just hiding it in outside of vision. Like, you know, pointing out that contains on this map are very strong. I mean, yes, they are, but the redeeming quality, I suppose, of the map is that you have this backdoor expansion that you can still... the Zerg needs some forces over there as well if they are to continue, especially into the mid game. And the other thing is, if they continue outside these bridges, you can go through your fort base and try to break out this way. So contains are quite strong on this map, but they're not insanely broken, let's just say that. earob being a lot more disciplined this game, getting an early cannon, sending a second probe immediately after the first one was killed. This probe, yeah, the probe was mineral walked, so he did click one of these minerals as soon as his first probe died. So he was able to avoid unit collision, but because the links were on an intercept course, they were able to just kill the probe immediately. What I like to do if I send the probe like that is, as soon as it goes past the bridges, I will just reroute it somewhere so that it doesn't get intercepted. But earob did manage to sneak one Zealot, and one Zealot can do a lot of damage. Like, seeing the Zealot right now, these links are quite far back. So I expect this Zealot to be able to kill one drone, maybe 2 drones, depending on Dex's micro. But the important thing, this Zealot, if he manages to get 1 drone, it's very good. If he manages to get 2 drones, it's huge. But the real value of this Zealot is seeing no lair and seeing the Hydra Dem. Let's see what earob's reaction to this will be. So last game what we saw was earob being a bit too greedy with his forge timing, and he paid for that. And now he's able to identify that Dex is going for an aggressive play, because he did see the Hydras hatching. He saw no lair. But he's not really reacting to that. He's not mining gas, so he pulled off gas from his natural expand. But that's simply not enough. He needs more cannons. And he needs them now. Dex is going for that. Interesting, Dex is going for that build where you get Hydra range and only a few Hydras, sort of to fake that you're going for a bust. But what you do is you only try to get your opponent to overreact, and then you just drone up behind that. Yep, Dex is going for an additional hatchery, 2 hatcheries, and an EV chamber, so you can see that Dex is not planning really to be aggressive. But he did force 7 cannons. There is the Corsair, so yeah, very good play by earob to cancel one of these cannons. Will he cancel the second one as well? No, he did not cancel it, but... Ooh. My Battle.net connection has been lost. The stream is still going though, so... It's just a small indie company. Dex now forced to hatch a few Hydras because he doesn't have speed. And he needs to protect his overlords. But that's just so many cannons. 6 cannons. Yeah, there be... earob reaches A rank sometimes, and Dex is very high B, sometimes breaks A rank as well. I think PvZ is earob's weakest matchup though, even though that sounds wrong because earob is so strong in all the matchups. But his PvT is fearsome and his PvP is really good as well. Dex going for a 3rd gas, and most of the time Zergs, as soon as they go for that 3rd extractor, they will start the lurker upgrade. And because earob did so many cannons and now Zelds, because he was trying to react to the potential bust, he's very mineral heavy, and because he's very mineral heavy, if Dex sets up some lurkers, that will be really strong. Seems like earob is planning to try and sneak out a DT. Pop it over the minerals, let's see. It seems like that's what he will be going for right now. So this thing is very difficult to pull off. And it requires a lot of attention. You can see that he failed to do it on the first try. He's trying really hard, but at the same time the clock is ticking and Dex is setting up contain. Yeah, okay, earob gives up. As I said, this is a really hard thing to pull off. And it seems like it's a bit easier to do when you're at the top part of the map rather than the bottom. Few Zelds running past the lurkers, but they are quite damaged because of this attempt. Dex did a good job sniping a few of the High Templars. There's not enough energy, and there's a very heavy contain outside of earob's main base. Things are not looking good for earob. We have maybe until about the 17th minute mark. And at that point earob will be mined out from his main base and most likely his natural as well. So he's on a clock. He's got about 5 minutes to really try and secure a third expansion. He will be going for shot of harassment. Seems to be the play that he's going for. He sees the Zergling over here. Oh my god. And this shuttle manages to sneak by undetected. See, the DT will be going to the main base, I suppose, and the play is the DT going to the main base will force a pull for the drones to be taken to the natural, and then at that point he will follow up with the storm drop. It could be a very good play. Oh my god, the DT's already has 9 kills, 10 kills. The DT killed the whole mineral line in the main base, but it doesn't really matter. Look at that contain. It's so strong. I'm not sure what earob should do. I mean, wiping out the whole mineral line is definitely a very good play. He also forced a drone pull from the natural base. But is that enough? Seems like a missed rally also from Dex. The DT managed to kill the Spire and the spawning pool. Also has a chance to pick up a few more drones. Will not do so, but even still, I mean, that DT did insane damage. And now earob is attempting to break the contain. DT good unit? Yeah, Blaze is good enough. I don't know. The Dragoons are too forward. They don't have any observers to help them see the lurkers. There are still lurkers in the Delta going out. That's a mistake. There are no more Hydras, so if there were any leftover Dragoons, maybe we can take them. But it doesn't seem likely. It looks like Dex has just enough forces to hold earob's attempt for the time they went by, which these reinforcements will arrive, and then it's very much over. It's a very good attempt by earob to break out, and he did a lot of eco damage to Dex. But as I said, he's really on a timer here. This attempt to break needs to work, otherwise earob is in a very bad shape. He's starved for gas and he's losing his High Templars. Not something that you want to see. Mineral base, main base, as I said, running very low on minerals. Natural is a bit undersaturated, so we should live for slightly longer, but that doesn't really matter. The gas is the main resource that earob is starved for right now. It doesn't seem likely that he will have enough forces to break. Rico, if that would be good for lower rank products. I mean, a Rico in response to what that contained. No, it wouldn't really work because the thing is, your start for gas, you need to make a lot of Dragoons and High Templars in order to break out. And then, sure, you have all the tech to take into Arbiter Tribunal, but that takes ages to build, and then the Arbiter as well takes even more. ages to come out, and when it does, it only has 50 energy, so it needs about 2 minutes to gather recall energy, and then you need to spend another 150 gas, which is one more High Templar, to get your recall. So that really pushes the timing by which you can cast that recall very far back. Yeah, and the other thing is, as you say, arbiters are really slow, so a few scourges will just shut that down massively. The thing is, you could maybe, if you have your whole army here, and you have your arbiter, you might recall your army here just to be out on the map, but then at that point it's just also not good. Because you cannot reinforce, and Zerg will eventually be able to defend with SimCity and a few lurkers here and there. But Europe somehow managed to get a third base. Mostly because Dex decided to stop reinforcing the contain. But yeah, Europe took a third base and is now taking a fourth base as well. We are approaching that 17-minute mark that I said, and the natural base is almost mined out. That is because it was a bit undersaturated. So Europe is having some healthy economy. He's mining gas, and he really needs to secure that port assimilator. And then we might be able to continue this game. But this map is quite difficult, especially if you get contained early on, you need to break out later. This expansion is on a high ground, and a few lurkers with Spore Colony here, and the same here. It's just unbreakable. Like, you need to invest so many units in order to break it. It's just not worth it. The best play that you can hope for is to gain control of the center of the map and start storming that mineral line. This can be effective. But then it's up to how many units did you lose and how cost inefficient you were when trying to break out of this contain. And mind you, that strategy with any control over the center will only work until Zerg gets to Hive with the crack upgrade. So Hive is on the way now. So Protoss maybe has about 2 to 3 minutes here to have the stronger army and be able to roam the center of the map. And after 3 minutes it will just be impossible. The Protoss army again is weaker and needs to rely on a lot of tech and a lot of gas. Which is why I said it's so. I missed a lurker drop over here. Which is why I said it's really essential to get this assimilator going and to start mining it. So Europe did the first part, but not the second part. At this point of the game, as Protoss, you need all the gas that you can muster. So you can start making these Reavers, these Archons, more High Templars for shuttle drops, and so on. That cannon is good, but you can possibly make a cannon over here just to prevent any sort of lurker play. Europe seems to know this, seems to know that he's on a timer. He's kind of dead. I believe the adrenaline for Zerglings has not been researched yet. So Europe still has some time before the Zerg army gets overwhelming. But the other important thing is, as soon as Dex gets to Hive, he can take into a Defiler mount, which I don't quite see yet. But when he does, Plague becomes extremely good for Zerg, because Protoss only relies on shields. Everything takes full damage. Shields take full damage from everything. And we currently don't have any shield upgrades for Protoss, which is the only thing that can help, really, at the point of the game when Zerg has the Fowler mount. These Zerglings are still slow. Looks like Dex has forgotten about the Adrenal upgrade. And these Side Stones are really good. These Side Stones from Europe combined with the unupgraded Link by Dex and just the weak tech by Zerg overall is what is allowing Europe to crush this army. So big blunder by Dex, but also very good crisis management from Europe to know how to fend off these forces. Dex is doing very good, setting up these defensive positions. Looks like he was trying to sneak an extra base over here, but Europe is on top of that and will deny it. There's a few High Templars preparing for a drop. He is storming the Lurker Egg, but the Lurker's morphing the last possible second and prevent a bunch of eggs from dying. And Europe will try to take this expansion for himself. Is there enough space to fit the Nexus? It seems like there's just enough. Zerg does need to make links, but Zerg needs to make the Adrenal upgrade for the links. This is the biggest blunder, basically the only reason why he lost that previous engagement. And throwing so many units away could be allows Europe to eventually come back to this game. The supplies, as you can see, are very in favor of Europe, and that's mainly because of the cost-effective trade that he had earlier. Yeah, I guess we'll never know if Nexus could get in here. I think maybe just maybe. Europe doing a good job clearing this army. And Dex is... credit where credit is due. Dex is down to only a single mining base, which Europe can abuse very hard. So that's 60 drones, and almost all of these drones are at that base. There's 9 drones here, and a few drones here and there mining gas, but imagine 2 High Templars over here, one storming this area and the other storming this area. Dex would go down to like 15 drones immediately. So Europe has made the best out of a bad situation that he can, really. Oh, seems like Europe has read my mind. And the GG is the moment this happens. 12 kills on that High Templar. It could have been more. Wow, I mean, That was a very good game. The only worrisome thing is that, as I said, I'm on a timer. And seems like we're going to game number 3 in the first series. I need to relog because my connection to Battle.net has been lost, as you remember. And game number 3 going up now. Let's see if Dex will follow escalated dice and make links, because link's good unit. Or are we gonna see earob making a comeback? So top left we've got earob, and top right we have Dex. Okay, I'm back. Seems like Dex is not going for his super early pull. One thing about Dex, it really takes to 4 pull and 5 pull, so it is something that you can take to your advantage. Europe will try to intercept the Overlord, so if Dex had spawned the bottom left corner, his Overlord would have been here by the time this probe tried to intercept, so he would know the positioning of the zone. So this is kind of like, it's not going to be the first scout, but it's going to be like the first and a half scout for earob. But Dex is making another overpull, which earob will be able to confirm shortly. He should know by the timing of the Overlord that this was an overpull rather than a 9 pull. Yeah, I wouldn't go for that bait. Dex, what Dex is trying to do, it's a mini game that these two players are doing right now. What Dex was trying to do is fool earob that he was going for the expansion, but earob should know just by looking at the game timer that Dex does not have the minerals needed to make that hatchery. And yeah, very good block right now. And the probe lives with more HP than I expected, to be honest. Very annoying pylon block here at the natural base will force Dex to get his expansion at the third base, which would have been really strong if earob had gone for gate to expand again, but this time he's going for a forge. And one of the reasons why you don't really want to block the hatchery for so long, especially when it's close to drones, is that your probe takes a lot of damage and can die very easily, as we just saw. A bit of a mistake by earob to let this pound finish. Could have only lost 25 minerals instead of 100. The probe gets intercepted by an Overlord. Let's see if Dex will change his direction for links to catch that. Seems like the answer is no. He will just wait patiently for the probe to appear back in vision and then maybe try to intercept. 4 links will be able to catch that probe. I don't know, because these are slow links. Maybe they will not be able to prevent the probe from... Oh, no. Very good link micro by Dex. denying earob from getting any information whatsoever, which is kind of like the bane of the Forge expand. earob being forced to send a third probe. I both like this and don't like this because he's losing so much mining time, but at the same time he is saving one of his very low HP drones, probes. Of course we know that Dex is going for a standard plate, but earob doesn't, and this is quite worrying for him. Because this could be a 3-hatch Hydra win. And if it is, the Hydras will be popping right about now. So let's see what the probe does. One way that you can detect that the 3-hatch Hydra is if you go back to the third base and count the number of drones, but he confirms that there's only one drone mining at the natural, but at the same time he did see that there's a lot more drones in the main base, so Dex was trying to mind game earob by not showing him any Hydra then at the natural, and by only showing a few drones mining. But he did sneak into the main base and he confirmed everything that was going on, so you can see that Dex is now rebalancing his drone count a bit better. It's insane sometimes how things like, oh, you have 1 or 2 drones mining at this base at that minute mark is enough to keep a player off. Don't know why earob is keeping a Zealot in the probe here. This is 1 unit gap, so he can just send this probe back to mining. Corsair now able to confirm the 4th catch going up. I believe it also saw the 5th catch, so 5 hatcheries plus there. And the final things that he should be looking out for to make sure that this is not an all-in is an evolution chamber, which granted Dex still hasn't built yet. So he could still be going for some sort of a 5-hatch Hydra, but the Corsairs will be able to confirm that, if this is the case. Corsairs just roaming, but what you really want to be doing at this point as earob is checking what's hatching from the eggs and seeing what buildings Zerg has. We just saw a bunch of drones being hatched. But right now this Corsair, for example, sees that Hydras have been hatched. Let's see if he'll confirm more Hydras. And we, as the observer, are able to see that Dex is hatching nothing but Hydras and does not have an Evo chamber, so this signals that Dex will be trying to go for some sort of a Hydra, the late Hydra aggression, which could be very strong. DT is out on the map, I wonder, but Dex does not have an overlord. And that is a blunder from Dex, but because basically that DT alone now can and is preventing the Hydra aggression. But Dex has at the same time already has Overlord speed. The Corsair sees that there's not more drones in the natural base, so earob is reacting with cannons. Again, we see a pattern for earob. He's doing the great things in order to counter the aggressive plays by Zerg, but he's being a bit greedier than he should, and he's delaying his reactions quite a bit. in this instance, right now, it seems like this was a good goal. But had Dex scouted with a single link and saw that 3 of these cannons have not worked yet, he could have just pressed on and then ended the game right there. Because there's a massive difference between 4 cannons defending and 7 cannons defending. With these 7 cannons, Dex can no longer outright bust earob. But there is again a lurker contain going on, and Dex is very abusive with his lurker contains. It's a style that he picked up recently. I mean, recently being maybe 6 months ago now. He used to always be a bit one-dimensional and go for his Mutus into Hydra and Lurker, which was still really strong, but because that was the only thing that you'd go for, you could kind of counter that. Right now, Dex has so many plays that he's really dangerous. Zealots don't care about Lurker contain. I mean, not entirely true. But you're right, it's only 3 lurkers, they're not gonna do much to these outs. And just the threat of these outs being out on the map means that Dex has to keep a lot of his Hydras back as well, which he currently is not doing. So running around with these outs is good for 2 reasons. I mean, first, you obviously have some army on the map that can go and harass at that point. But because you have this army, Zerg is forced to split his forces and is not able to just rally at the contain over here. Otherwise, he can like easily lose his third base or his natural if he's not careful. And because there's not that many units at that contain, it means that you can bust more easily. So what earob is doing right now is just hiding these outs. But what would be more effective would be to try and poke here at the third base, for example, to force some of Zerg's forces to be pulled back and then intercept them back at this high ground while breaking out with his Dragoon High Templar army. So step 1 of the plan is on the way. He is attacking, which is forcing some Hydras and links back, as I said. Yeah, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do in this situation. Because, look, Dex does not have that many units anymore at the contain, and the ones that he has are not really fighting. He's too busy trying to react to these zealots in his base. That actually allows earob to break out the contain very well executed value. He lost all the zealots, but that doesn't really matter as much because he's out on the map again. He's able to get some forces, and now Dex is in trouble. He basically had this game in the bag, but this army already has 2-1, and is as I said, he's out on the map. Will be able to get a very big arc and attack from a big angle. And Zerg doesn't have any upgrades. Okay, so +1 missile just completes. But you can see that earob is able to attack with so many of the dragoons, making them very effective. And Dex is fighting out in the open, which is not good for him. He really needs to rely a bit more on these choke points. In order to defend well. Let's see though, is Europe able to reinforce? It seems like he's reinforcing and he's macroing very well from his 7 gateways. He's also taking a third base, so it's not a complete all-in by Europe at any means, but yeah, very strong play, and he was so down to these zealots that run into the natural base and allowed Europe to break out the contain. Thank you, Dada. Your nice, your words are appreciated. Yeah, first cast ever. I don't know what I'm doing here. You can see my overlays. They have improved, right? Anyway, so game number 1 goes to thank you very much and earob. Game number 2 will be Lana Terran versus Hazorath. I don't really know Hazorath. Oh yeah, I can decrease the game sounds definitely. Let me do that before we get into the next game. Yeah, I lowered the in-game audio. It's now about 20%. Let me know if it's too quiet or if I should lower it a bit more. I'm glad I'm not receiving these questions, Dada. So up to you now. But man, we have Lana the Terran, spawning here in the top, in the 12 o'clock position, versus Hazorath, spawning in the bottom left of Apocalypse. Good point. And this is still week 2. Lana Terran was... I mean, Lana Terran is always a wonder to watch. I just don't have the words to describe it. No, he doesn't have 50 APM, he has 40 APM right now, but who needs APM when you have Terran? I mean, I'm betting on Lana this game. What's with the audio? Is the game sound still too loud? Oh, the game sound is too quiet now. Okay. Let's bump it up a bit. How is the sound right now? Game audio still too quiet? I'm changing it from my streaming overlay. Okay, so increase game sound again. It was about that level when you said it's too loud during the fights. Because people said I was too quiet. So you just want extra loud game sounds and no voice at all. No caster voice. That's the best. Yo, the probe was not able to. Okay, should I decrease my voice now? Guys, we're missing out an exemplary play by Lana. Yeah, I think Lana is moving out like this because he is planning to do Lana things in the background. Okay, decrease voice. Voice decreased by a tiny bit. The dragon's going up. Oh, almost auto shot missed. Lana intercepting. The two dragoons will be able to see what's going on, maybe, and see if Lana will sandwich the dragoon forces. Was a tank and marines, but Protoss should already be tipped off because he's seeing too many marines. And as I said, Lana is doing Lana things. He's just he keeps producing marines. He has not shown the medic to Protoss, but he's getting marine range, and he will, I suspect, very soon get the Steam upgrade as well. Yeah, you don't need APM. You don't need to spend your money. You don't need to build SCVs. Just play Terran and be Lana. Let's see. Range upgrade complete. No Steam yet. I mean, I suppose it fits the Lana. He does not have the siege yet. He's researching it right now. Yeah, I suppose no Steam fits Lana's playstyle because more Steam equals more APM. Oh my god, Lana. That offensive eBay is the most Lana thing I've ever seen, if I have seen anything. As soon as this completes, he would just lift it and move it in this direction just to soak hits. Siege is done now, and he is sieging. His tanks are a bit too far forward, and he's paying for that. But Protoss doesn't have any units to defend that. Yep, I told you, he's gonna lift the eBay. One bunker going down. It's gonna be two bunkers, I believe. Second one should be over here. Oh, he cancels even the bunker. That was a bit of a mistake. Wonky one base build. I mean, it works. It's the Lana build. Second shuttle. We lost the first one and a bunch of pylons, so we're supply blocked right now and we can't build a Reaver. That's unfortunate, because Reaver is just about the only thing that can save us right now. Lucky Noob says, who says Terran doesn't have rushes? I mean, nobody said that. Terran has some of the strongest rushes in this game. Look guys, we're almost spending all our money. Not the gas, but we're almost not banking minerals. still no Steam. Steam is just overrated. First Reaver is out. Let's see. Oh, I mean that was a fairly good. Fairly good first shot. And oh my god. Is Hazorath gonna be able to defend this? I cannot believe. I refuse to believe. I think it's mostly on Lana for not building turrets and bunkers and stuff. But that Reaver play was very good. Here we lose the shuttle. Where's all the Marines? We lost all the Marines. We just need one bunker over here. And we're good. Okay, the bunker was a bit too far forward and we paid for that. Two Reavers are leaving the base right now. Let's see what these two Reavers will be able to do. It seems like the Reavers want to go for a backstab rather than fly into the main base. And we do have some turrets. Lana able to see that the shuttle is... Will he react to the shuttle? Seems like the answer is no. The shuttle was... There was a blimp of the shuttle in the... on the minimap, but... Lana not really reacting to it. Hazorath though... not being very decisive with his shuttle play. Okay, so we do have the Terran Sim City now, and okay, we also lost the two Reavers. That's why bunkers are so strong. Bunkers and turrets and GG. Lana does Lana things, and game number 1 goes to thank you very much. Game number 2 will be on New Dark Origin again. I did see someone new in the chat earlier, so just in case you're not familiar with this, Game 1 and Game 2 are always fixed on the same maps. Oh, all 3 games actually are the map order is set. Oh, Hazorath up to no good. Sending one of his first probes across the map. Will Lana be able to react to that? The thing is, Lana can be extremely dangerous, especially in best of 1 games. But coding some of the Protoss cheeses, I don't think Lana is experienced enough to be able to do that efficiently. But let's see. Yeah, Protoss is going for a dirty play, but if you will go for that offensive pylon and the gateway, why not build it right here? I mean, you're kind of all in already Unless he goes for 2 gateways right now. If he only goes for 1 gate, he should definitely have done it here. Because that distance is quite significant. That's about 1 Marine build time. Lana though doing a wait. I need to call Neblime. Is the barracks not supposed to be on the right of the depot? I don't know if that's Zealot tact now. The barracks should be on the left? Okay. Shimmer says. We trust Shimmer. So the SimCity should be good. I mean, if he has the SimCity, and because the gateway is over here rather than over here, I suppose Lana should be able to hold this. Let's see. Okay, he focuses down the probe. Yeah, I know this is Zealot tight. And this is also the Zealot tight, as Shimmer says. Hazorath losing a lot of HP on these Marines, on these Zealots. Lana about to lose 1 Marine, loses 1 Marine, and then 2 Zealots flanking. Ooh, that is very dangerous. It looked very good for Lana for a second there. But right now, not anymore. Lana is attacking his own barracks. What's Lana doing? Oh no. GG. And we're up to game 3 again. Yeah, as I said, holding Protoss rushes as Terran, especially if you're a bit more experienced in as Terran, is no problem at all. But the thing is, holding these rushes is quite technical. And especially if you want to do it well, you need to have some practice. And Lana is a Terran for 1 season only, and I'm not sure Lana has that practice. But anyway, this is going to be the final map, and whoever takes this will bring a point to their team. Will Lana be able to do a 2-0 score for thank you very much, or is Hazorath going to even out the score and bring back big click energy? If the APM man again. This is a 4-player map though. Hazorath, I mean, he can definitely not go for that gateway aggression. He could have tried to go for a Gastio, but he's not going to. No 12 Nexus either. I assume Lana is not going to attempt for a gasless expand because he's, I mean, just not having the SimCity to support the gasless expand. And also, it's Lana. I don't expect Lana to build to go for an eco cheese build. Okay, we have Standard Opener from Protoss, no Zealot. Kind of a late scout for our Protoss player. He did see the angle of this SCV, so he should know that Terran is over here, but it seems like he wasn't paying attention. Range upgrade on the way. SCV should be able to confirm that. I mean, Lana so knows Zealots with his SCV, and yet he's bringing one SCV to the ramp, playing a bit more defensively than he should. Going up to 4 Marines, so quite possibly that's going to be the Lana build once again. The SCV just chilling there. Does not want to confirm anything. Nexus after 2 Dragoons. That... Oh, seems like Hazorath sold the 4 Marines. What is the reaction going to be? Okay, so second gateway... That's still not going to be enough. Lana... I thought he was gonna go for an FD, but seems like he will be going for Marine range again and maybe a medic. So exactly the same build as we saw in game number 1. But we have 2 gateways from Protoss. That's not enough. He needs to throw down either a 3rd gateway or a Robo like yesterday, if he wants to hold that. Okay, 3rd gateway. Let's see what Lana will do. When will Lana attack? So Lana needs to move out as soon as that 2nd tank finishes, and even then I'm not sure if that's not going to be too late. Three Dragoons over here though, so if Protoss doesn't pay attention and Lana is able to pick up 1 or 2 of these Dragoons for free, then things will be very, very different. So Lana is moving out. That as I said, that may be a bit too late. He's pulling 3 SCVs. You probably need to pull more, especially if you're that tall in as Lana is right now. One of these Dragoons... Oh, loses a tank though. One of these Dragoons falls, so trading a tank for a Dragoon, kind of an okay trade. Neither of the players is extremely in any serious advantage because of that very good micro to pick up a few of these Marines. Reducing the Marine count is very important for pushes like this. Lana though already is banking enough energy. Seems like the response from Hazorath will be a DT. He did pick up another tank though, and that is very strong. He has all the Dragoons he needs to pick up 1 more tank, and he does. Marines alone will not be able to hold that, and yes, okay, so Lana not able to pull off the Lana build twice in a row in 1 series, and the score is even now. What is the time? The time is fine. I still have 1.5 hours. Well, not really, more like 1 hour. And our next game is going to be Grast versus yoitsflash. yoitsflash is very odd, since like their first game is on New Dark Origin. I feel like that was not the order of the maps. And they did not play top versus bottom. I am inclined to believe that they just fucked up the order. Anyway, so Grast will be going for gateway aggression, proxy gates. Are they going to be in Flash's main base or not? That's the question. Flash has been on and off in CPL for a long time. Honestly, I'm a bit surprised to see him in Tier 0 right now, or at least in Week 2, when this happened. So naming the replaces is fucked up. Not they played them in the right order, just they confused the system. Yeah, this is game 2. This is the map for game 2, so it makes sense. Trust's gateways will not be inside the base, but they're not going to be outside at the location of the third base or something like that as well. So using that sneaky path, Flash will not be able to confirm that. I'm pretty sure that when I met Grast on this map, he did that same thing to me. I can't remember if he won or lost. I know that the initial aggression didn't work out, but if I'm not mistaken, Grast has a follow-up for that aggression. It was a long time ago, though. So Flash going to see the bad news right now. Yep, sees probes mining and no gateway. What's the reaction going to be? Okay, so he's pulling off gas. That's good. That pylon is a bit odd. Not blocking anything. Oh, Flash knows. He knows where the gates are. He's throwing down a second gateway of his own. I don't know if it's too late though. Shield battery is a nice touch, but he might not have enough zealots to hold that. Okay, that makes more sense now. Shield battery is done, but Flash is already losing probes. Oh no. 2 zealots against 3 zealots. Grast's shield battery is up as well. Can he keep that zealot alive? Yeah, he reaches the shield battery in time. And good micro. That zealot is still alive. That is unbelievable. Flash down a few workers. 3 zealots. Grast seems like he will have the overwhelming advantage. 5 zealots right now, and then Flash keeps up. A quick game. Quick example of how deadly Protoss things can be. Zealots don't tickle each other, they're like in a fist fight. Except they fight with blades, not with fists. They stab one another until one of them eventually gives up and becomes dust. Or vaporizes, whatever zealots do. So the second game that we will show right now is actually game 1. No top versus bottom again, and it's gonna be... What's that color? Bad green versus yellow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Flash. That's the exact reason why Flash is not in ASL anymore. I can change the colors for you, Dada. There's not much of a difference. See, the worst thing is, it's these colors on a desert tile map set. I mean, you need to explain how to code games on top versus bottom. Both Flash and Grast are play Protoss, so they need a bit more explanation how this is done. Grast doing 2 gateways again. At least this time they are in the base. So this was game number 1. I wonder if the 2 gateways here worked. And Grast was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna try to get a quick win. Or 2 gateways in the main did not work, and he thought, I need these 2 gateways to be closer. Luckily, Flash scouts first, so he's able to adjust his gas mining again. Yo, earob, your games have been casted already. You can thank Dada for bringing me back from the closet. Yeah, you missed Lana's games and your games. And now we're watching the second game between Grast and Flash. Ooh. Nice snipe here. It looks like Flash should have enough Zealots to hold it this time around. Yeah, 3 Zealots against 1 is definitely not a fight that Grast wants to take. He will wait for reinforcing Zealots, but just the distance between the mains is so big. He's able to confirm that gas is being mined again. Yeah, I'm just hoping we don't go to a very late PvP, so that there's shuttle drops everywhere, because they will be really hard to tell. Six gateways for 6 Zealots for Flash, 6 gateways for Grast as well, but one of his gateways, Zealots is on a move command. He still has the advantage of the drum, but Flash is microing quite well. And Flash is able to keep most of his Zealots alive. Only loses a single Zealot. So definitely big advantage for Flash right now, but it is Citadel already done. Templar Archives should be started soon. Maybe not. We have 2 Dragoons, but I don't believe these 2 Dragoons will be able to defend. Okay, 3 Dragoons with 2 Zealots, maybe. It's going to be a hard fight, but a lot of these Zealots are damaged. Will Flash be able to see the tech? The answer is no. Templar Archives going up. Flash is building... Oh no. He's building a pylon, which is good enough, but he's going up to 4 gateways. That means that he will not build a forge, and he's definitely not building a robo. Oh. What a heartbreaker. 4 Flash. This game will be over very soon. First DT is on the way. Forge is not in sight, which means that there's no hope for Flash. Grast poking. Flash should be tipped off by seeing no range from these Dragoons. Oh my god, Grast is even able to trade favorably in this situation. Yeah, I think things are looking very bad for Flash here. No detection on the way, DT is already out on the map. Yeah. Yoitsflash won the economy game. Did you know the one time when, I think it was WCG or something, when one of the players disconnected, even though they were losing hard, the referee at the end of the match that was in charge of saying who won and who lost, despite that player losing very hard, said that the player that was supposed to lose won the game because he just had more points on the overall score screen at the end. GG. So 3 gateways and decide to all win? Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, I can see why he would do that, but it's, I don't know, it's not it's not a good play. Yeah. The referee decision at this point was basically bigger bank equals win. I mean, the only referee that will implement this rule, I feel, is Escalate. Okay, so we have 2 more series that, depending on how they go, I might be able to cast. One of them is going to be a PvZ between Type 100 and Worst. Oh no, it's Type 100 versus Supperman, my bad. Let's see, that's gonna be an interesting series. Supperman is one of these players that will beat some of the best tier 0 players, but also sometimes lose to the Lana build and things like that. So he's really good player, but sometimes he's just having bad days. And his PvZ is quite good, if I recall correctly. Let's see what build he's going for. So that would be a forge first, it seems, given the scout timing. And luckily for Supperman, he scouts first. Yeah, Type 100 is very strong. I believe he was a coach at some point as well. He's definitely one of the best Zergs in CPL right now. He's from China, right? Or am I thinking of a different Zerg? Nine pool. Supperman sees it, so very lucky for him. He managed to scout first. And he's building 2 cannons. Yeah, he was kind of coaching your team. Okay, seems like I'm not thinking of a different Zerg. Yeah, I believe he's... I don't know if he's Chinese, but he is he's currently in China. Type 100 sees that Supperman built the 2 cannons, so he will not commit to an aggression. If he can pick up that probe, that's huge. Lana built a bit... Lana? Why am I saying Lana? I mean, Lana games were so iconic. Even when he's not playing, he still is. Anyway, so... Oh my god, that probe... Supperman built a few too many probes, actually, before getting his Nexus. Even though it sounds a bit counterintuitive after building the 2 cannons. Your eco is also a bit tanking, but that's fine because Zerg built a 9 pool. That you only build 1 probe, and then you build the Nexus for the best eco recovery. I believe earob is in the chat and he can correct me if that's not the case. But in this case, Supperman built 2 probes and then built the Nexus. So it's a really minor thing, but one of these optimizations that really do end up matter, especially in PvZ, because that matchup is all about the early game and who can get these tiny advantages early on. I really hate this position on Apocalypse because that thing over here that Supperman is blocking with 1 probe, that's actually a 2 unit cap, even though it doesn't seem like it. So Lynx will still go by. And in this particular setup, I believe, Lynx can go both around the probe from both sides. So Lynx are really good on this map. So I was watching, I think it was Best, and whenever he faces 9 pool, he'll do 2 cannons, 1 probe, and then Nexus. And I think there was one other pro that does this as well, so I assume this is the correct thing. Because it really feels natural that you have the money for the Nexus after 2 probes, but there just has to be a reason why they're cutting that 1 probe to get the Nexus slightly faster. I think it just... the Nexus completing slightly faster means that you can start producing 2 probes at a time faster as well. So in the long term, it kind of works out better for you. But anyway, as I said, but a tiny, tiny detail. Quite impactful though. I mean, I have tried it in my games a few times, and like I noticed that my echo is actually way worse if I do 2 probes and then Nexus rather than a single probe and Nexus. It just feels that the timing are so much sharper. can basically negate the fact that you build the 2 cannons and still go for your regular 730 and stuff. Anyway, so we got Lair and Aspire, so very standard. But we also have 2 gas. It's not going to be for Mutus though, because we can see that there's only Scourge on the way. And Supperman, yeah, you can see kind of the thing. Okay, so he has 3 Corsairs. That's good. He did scout with one of these Corsairs and he saw the second gas. So I assume he's thinking Mutus. But he's not producing Corsairs. Corsairs. Oh. Nice. Two of the Scourges are lost, which gives Superman a bit of a breathing room. Are there more Scourge on the way? The answer is no. We have a bunch of Hydras though. Oh, that's a big blunder. Corsairs are faster than Zealots. And if you just attack move both of them, this is what happens. Corsairs arrive way too early. So the Corsairs will be picked off by the time the Zealots arrive, and then the Zealots will just be held very easily as well. So a bit unfortunate for Superman. He's adding more cannons. Kind of make up for the fact that he lost all these Zealots. But that is allowing... Oh, these Hydras were on move command. That's these Corsairs' lucky day. It's a good day to die, but not today. Very good storms though. Very good storms, but Type 100 is doing a very good job sniping all these cannons, and the cannons are now building, so only one cannon in range. That will not be enough, and if Type 100 reinforces, that will be everything that he needs. Type 100 is doing a really good job at busting this. He has to gather all his reinforcements. Yeah, that was a nice goal. Two cannons in range, I don't believe that will be enough, and honestly, Type 100 just positions over here. He's in range of the Nexus, and he can take down these Zealots quite easily. GG. Yeah. That game was pretty even until the attack on the third base by Superman. That was just... The Corsairs arrived out of sync with the Zealots, and that basically spelled disaster for the whole game. But hey, see, I mean, Superman has more resources, so he wins, right? Bigger bank, overruling the outcome of this game. Game number 2 on Neo Dark Origin. That is yeah, the map. Two-player maps are always a bit tricky PvZ because they can go either way for either of the races. They're so volatile. Let's see what Type 100 will go for though. So Type 100 here at the bottom position of the new Dark Origin, and Supperman at the top. I think that probably arrived a bit too early though, wouldn't it? Yeah. Could have been more optimized. That's one of the things that I'm always obsessing about when I'm playing PvZ. I want my probe to arrive at the location of the pylon exactly at 100 minerals and no later and no sooner. Such a tiny thing and it almost never matters, but it's one of these things that I want to get right, even though they're quite inconsequential. Okay, so we see the overpull this game. Supperman going for a forge again. So seeing the overpull, I feel like he'll do forge into Nexus, but maybe not. Because if he does that, yeah, Nexus should go on 13. And he's back exactly at the right time. Nexus at 13, Cannon at 13, and then he's safe against these lings, if they were lings. Kill Cannon at 13, even though he confirms the drones. Better safe than sorry. Gateway, Island. We should go and see the third base right about now. We have seen the gas timing, so that's about all we really need. I believe he can confirm the third base if he goes close to the edge over here as well. One probe blocking any Ling aggression, even though, I mean, he sees that there's no Lings being made. Okay, time to go back to the main base. We still want to see if it's a Hydrogen or a layer. We of course know it's a Hydrogen, but Supperman does not know this yet. Oh, that's so annoying. So what happened here was Supperman was not looking at his probe. It started being attacked and he clicked return cargo, but return cargo glitched the probe and made it take a lot more extra hits than it should have. It happens to me all the time. I know the feeling. This is very tilting when it happens. Oh, and he loses the probe. So we still don't know if it's Hydrus or Mutus, or Hydrus or Lair. Okay. Should be adding a second cannon right about now, just because he doesn't know what's going on. He basically has no other choice. I mean, he can gamble which is what he's doing right now, and he's counting on the fact that Type 100 is going lair, but in fact Type 100 is going for a 973. Two Zelda off the map. It's going to be 973 into range again, so he's... Oh yeah, earob said that he was on the same team as Dex, is that right? Oh no, Dex was playing earob, so they're not on the same team. They're just both doing the range, pick off the wall, force cannons build. Cannon going up. Corsair seeing the fourth hatchery, but also seeing two drones. That should be alarm bells for Supperman, and it is. We are adding a lot more cannons. Is it too late though? It could be too late. Yeah. Losing that probe earlier without confirming the hydrogen meant that he should have gone for that second cannon much earlier. That's sometimes what happens when you play Superman, as he said. Sometimes that doesn't have his days. Thankfully that series was quite quick, so maybe I'll have time for the next series. I'm really not sure. Our last series of the day. Let's try. It's going to be worst and exit. Two players that did participate in last season's CPL Royale. earob participated as well, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, they did not play top versus bottom as well. Exit versus worst. Exit playing his Protoss this time. Worst is Romanian, I believe, and Exit is from US. Apocalypse. Let's speed up a bit, so I can cast both games. Let's speed up until they scout. Okay, one gateway. Worse than you, Dudo? You think so? Maybe. I think worst was actually really considering going for BSL at some point, so he may as well be Dudo. But both Exit and Dudo, I think, qualified. For the previous BSL anyway. I have not followed any of the current plans or the tournament or the qualifiers. I'm a bit out of touch. Dada spoiling the results. I mean, what happens when Dada is actually the one doing bad things on stream? He is the stream police, so who polices the police? Okay, so exit confirming range, and so is worst. So everything going... everything going pretty standard, which is unexpected for Apocalypse. I think to repent Dada you need to play Terra not for a month, but for all of CPL 11. Oh, we're sniping that scouting probe by exit. Dada doesn't want to play Terran because he wants to have fun. I mean, who needs fun when you can have all the salt? Just think about it. You will never need to go to the supermarket again to buy salt. You have that all the time. Infinite supplies. Oh, that... is that a gun prison? I think if you build a gateway over here, it will be a gun prison. Three gateway ops versus 3 gateway no ops to expand. Morse will soon see the bad news. Exit should be able to win that. Exit doing quite well, but worst reinforcements. Yeah, Worst has the defender's advantage, which is very big for him right now. Exit doing great job with the targeting though. It was a bit of a blunder to allow this wounded dragoon to go forward. Is he going to be able to see the dragoon of Worst that has only one shot left in him? Maybe. Worst doing a good job backing and exploiting that choke over here. Oh. Yeah, so Exit currently indeed with the advantage. He's also building a nexus of his own with an additional gateway. Worst has an observer to scout that. But with the 4 gateways, Exit might have enough to defend. So this is all This is all very volatile. Either side can win this engagement, really. It's currently 8 Dragoons, 9 Dragoons versus 6 in the Reaver. And Exit for a moment had the advantage that Worst had less surface area. Oh, that was a really good Reaver shot by Worst. Manages to get 2 shots with this Reaver. Oh, he could have tried for 3 shots, but it doesn't matter. He is able to overwhelm Exit anyways. But the 4 gateways might be enough. Let's see. Can Exit reinforce quick enough? Yes, seems like the answer is yes. He's able to take his high ground. And so is Worst thinking about expanding. He's a bit behind already, so Exit going to 5 gateways and a Citadel. Guess he will make High Templars. Because at this point in the game, DTs will not be effective. He does not really want to take that fight. Even without the Reaver, Worst has just both high ground advantage and an overwhelming positional advantage. Yeah, Exit has 0 detection, so at any point if Worst had gone for Citadel and DTs, he would have won instantly. We do have 1 Forge finally. Okay, so first Reaver shot takes down a single probe, not the best. You say Psycho, but that's actually how Dex plays as well when he plays Protoss. Just the thing with these off-racers, man, they don't respect the DPs. No, but Exit going for that. He really does not want to be going up that ramp. It's too tiny. You can see even Worst had units, but their unit count was equal, and he both had the high ground and that tiny ramp to exploit. So these 2 cannons are basically the only thing that stands between Worst and the victory in this game. Reaver doing a good job at not bugging out and shooting. GG. Game number 1. But Exit had more resources. Okay, I will try to get the final series done as well, and then I'm gonna end the stream immediately because I'm running out of time. Oh, but is the second game going to be the final game of the series? I don't know. Let's hope it is. Otherwise, you just have to tune in for the conclusion in an hour or so. I can skip ahead, that's true. But what if someone proxies? And I say that and Exit is already proxy. Okay, Worst doesn't know this though. He's not scouting after the gateway. He's throwing down a second gateway anyways. He still needs to cut a bit, a probe or two, right? Maybe not. It's only a single gateway. What do you do here is exit? I mean, it's still kind of playable. You just need to get damage done, which you will. There is going to be one Zeld versus one Zeld. Imagine going for a forward gate. Yeah. That ramp is almost impossible to block with a single Zeld. It can happen, but really difficult. Still against 2, but worst just has so many. He has 2 gateways. So who will win in the long term? Oh, and he's also sneaking something. Worst showing that he's taking his gas. But in reality, I don't think he's planning to mine any gas. I think this extractor simulator is just for the show. Oh no, he's actually mining gas. With 3 probes, mind you. Oh. Exit knows. He knows about the Zeld and he's still rallying his Zelds out on the map. I know he's blocking the ramp. I mean, these probes can take a single Zeld. Yeah, see, he only loses a single probe and a lot of mining time. I believe Worst should be able to bust this. He decides not to even try. In any case, Worst is 10 workers ahead. And his tech is going to be faster as well. Exit still needs to deal with this rally of the Zelds that's coming into his main base. Worst started Cybercore, Boon Range, and the robotics. Okay, seems like Exit will finally stabilize and stop these Zeld rally. gateways are being killed on both sides of the map. When in doubt, go DTs, but unfortunately for Exit, Worst already has detection. He's using his eco advantage. He's getting a Nexus of his own. So technically, right now the standing armies should be equal, perhaps even advantage for Exit. But with the range advantage and the reinforcements, Worst should be able to defend this. Observer is being built, so he's not being too greedy, going for Reaver straight away. Defender's advantage, as I said, quite good. Worst is able to repel the attack of Exit. Yeah, that's weak too. Go. Okay, seems that the game has finally stabilized a bit. Oh, Exit is going to try and push the DT. Yeah, but Worst sees that. He also saw one of the DPs, so he should be aware of what's going on. And that thing, as I said, really hard to do. The second time we're seeing someone try to pull it off. I guess right now Exit can appreciate how much easier this thing to do is with vultures. And not with a DT. You're losing so much attention trying to do this that I'm not sure it's worth it. Look, the money, the macro, just GG. Tried a few times, didn't work out, and the probe scouts it. GG. So 2-0 for Worst. That's the end of the series, and that's about the end of the remaining time that I had as well. So thank you all for joining me for that very incidental cast, and I'll see you next time. Maybe in 2025. You know, we'll see. Until then.